Hi guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona. And in this video, I'm talking about the dirty little secret behind these best hearing aid rankings that you see online. Coming up. When it comes to searching for hearing aid information online, perhaps the most Googled term is, what is the best hearing aid? When you think about it, conducting a search like this seems to be a very easy way to create a short list of the best hearing aids that are currently available. After all, there are literally hundreds of hearing aids that you would have to research, and by the time you got done researching them, there would be a whole new crop of hearing aids that you'd need to go back and start over with again. So why not let a bunch of experts who spend their entire professional career evaluating the performance and characteristics of certain features inside of hearing aids and let them tell you which ones they think are the best? As you already know, I'm a doctor of audiology and I spend nearly 100% of my time either treating patients in my clinic or learning as much as I can possibly learn about different hearing aids and their capabilities. I even publish my own best hearing aids video at the beginning of each year on my YouTube channel telling you which hearing aids I think are the best and why. I try to be as open and transparent with those best hearing aid videos as I possibly can, never letting any hearing aid manufacturer sponsor those videos, and always providing you with disclaimers telling you that even those hearing aids that I think are the best are only as good as the hearing care professional who is fitting and programming those hearing aids to allow them to maximize their performance. But what if I told you that the vast majority of the best hearing aid rankings that you find online have nothing to do with the actual capabilities of the technology that they're evaluating? I hate to say it, but almost everything that you read online when it comes to the best hearing aid rankings is a lie. But before I get into the specifics of how the whole system is rigged, if you could do me a huge favor and click the like button, it really helps out my channel because it gets these exposing videos in front of a broader audience. And while you're at it, if you have not yet hit the subscribe button with notification bell, go ahead and do that as well because that ensures that you never miss one of my newly released videos. That being said, I greatly appreciate it. Now let's go ahead and check out this scam of the best hearing aid rankings. Something I started noticing a few years back was the proliferation of these best hearing aid ranking websites that would rank generic amplifiers as being the #1 best hearing aid. Naturally, this caught me by surprise because no legitimate website would ever rank a generic amplifier as being the best hearing aid on the market. So I went ahead and decided to play a little bit of Sherlock Holmes and see what I could find, and what I found probably wouldn't shock you at this point. First is that the individuals who are creating these websites and authoring these articles had absolutely no qualifications to make them even remotely capable of ranking different hearing aids. I'm sorry, but unless you're someone with some formal training on hearing aid amplification and you've actually treated individuals with hearing loss with these particular devices, then you have no clue what you're talking about. Second, it is impossible to give any one hearing aid the #1 ranking because no hearing aid is the best for every single individual with hearing loss. The justifications that these websites give for certain hearing aids being ranked as #1 is completely laughable, and I'm surprised that anyone would actually fall for it. It becomes quite obvious when you start actually treating individuals with hearing loss that the perception of what is best varies based on an individual's specific wants and needs. For instance, I could think that one hearing aid has like all the features that I think that hearing aid is absolutely amazing. But that hearing aid might be horrible for a certain individual. That's why giving any one particular hearing aid the #1 ranking is just impossible. Not to mention, ranking a generic amplifier as the #1 best hearing aid on the market is just so ridiculous that I can't even come up with words to explain how ridiculous that is. But even worse than unqualified individuals ranking different hearing aids and giving the #1 slot to a generic amplifier, the third thing that I found was that all of these websites were basically just paid advertisements where hearing aid manufacturers would pay to be ranked really high, or they would give affiliate commissions to these websites for referring people to buy hearing aids from them. This means that nearly all of the top-rated hearing aids that you read about online are only considered the top-rated because a hearing aid manufacturer paid for them to be. Let me show you what I mean. If we do a Google search for the best hearing aids, what you'll end up finding is that there's a bunch of ads here at the top that are talking about the 10 best hearing aids, hearing aid ratings, best hearing aid technology, low-cost hearing aids. But if you go down to the actual organic results down here, what you'll start to see is that there are a number of websites that talk about the 10 best hearing aids, the 7 best hearing aids, the 12 best hearing aids. I mean, the best hearing aids of 2021. It is just littered with all of these websites that are just trying to capitalize on these search terms. Now, if we go to one of them, let's just go to caring.com. And what we see here is that they have found that the best hearing aids are from here.com and Eargo and Lively. But here's the thing, in case you missed it. In the top right-hand corner of this website, you see where it says advertising disclosure? That right there tells you that basically all of these rankings have been paid for. So when you start to consider this, it's actually ridiculous to think that they're giving these high ratings just because they've been paid to be there. And when you look at it in this particular context, Here.com isn't even a hearing aid. They sell a variety of different hearing aids, and yet they are ranked as the best rechargeable digital hearing aid. And then Eargo is ranked as the best for comfortable in-the-ear hearing aids, and Lively for best customer experience. The only problem is that none of them actually earn these top rankings. And then when you go to see packages, what it does is it takes you to their particular website where Caring.com would actually receive a commission if you were to go through and purchase devices from Here.com. But it actually gets worse than that. You actually have, when you go to 12 best hearing aids of 2021, you have what looks like an actual article. Hey, this is pretty good. They're gonna have an expert review on a lot of these things. But you see, every single one of these either would receive a direct commission from those manufacturers, or it would actually put you through to a third-party site like Zip Hearing. Now, this is my opinion, but I truly believe that companies like this are absolutely horrible, and they foster all of this bad behavior that you find inside of these articles where they're ranking these different hearing aids. And when you look here, you can see that this Courtney Schmidt, who is a doctor of pharmacology, like, that has nothing to do with audiology. And to think that this individual is actually writing articles about hearing aids is completely laughable. There is so much dirty money in the online hearing aid space that it makes me literally want to throw up on myself. The reason it makes me so sick is because individuals like yourself get taken advantage of just so these particular companies can make a cut of whatever is sold in the hearing aid space. Like I mentioned before, a few years ago, I started making my best hearing aid ranking videos, and I only did it 1 year where I actually ranked them in order of what I felt was the best hearing aid. And then it became quite obvious to me that, just because this one particular hearing aid is better than another one, in my opinion, it doesn't mean that that hearing aid is actually best for an individual with their particular wants and needs. On top of that, as soon as I started taking sponsorship money, I stopped ranking these hearing aids. Now I just give you what I think are the best hearing aids, whether they are a sponsor of me or not. And anytime I do a sponsored video, I openly disclose it 2 times inside of each video, so it is very obvious that I'm being paid to promote a particular product or feature from a hearing aid manufacturer. All that said, the best hearing aid videos that I create at the beginning of each year have never been sponsored and will never be sponsored, because that would totally take away every single ounce of credibility that I have. This pay-to-play ranking system is not going to stop. In fact, it's going to continue to get worse as time goes on, especially if the Federal Communications Commission doesn't step in saying it's illegal. So the best advice that I can give to you is to do your own independent research and never trust anything that you read from these best hearing aid websites, because all they're doing is trying to make as much money as they possibly can at your expense. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, please share it. And if you want to see other videos just like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, feel free to check out my website, drcliffaud.com.